请把我们的页面放到呃这个 Slides 首页好吗？我现在开始放人了。
好，let's wait 1 minute. Let's start. Hey everyone, welcome XCamp number 79 Education Forum. Today we are very glad to have Joe here. He will share his coding, research, and NGO journey with us. First, I will give you a quick introduction about XCamp with a 2-minute video. Then we will have a panel discussion, me and Joe. Then we have the QA session. After that, we will have 30 minutes of open house to share with you XCamp's classes. Let me play this video about XCamp first.
Computer science and artificial intelligence are tools that will change the future. XCamp Academy is a community dedicated to inspiring and cultivating the next generation of computer science and artificial intelligence talent. XCamp Academy was founded in August 2017 in Silicon Valley by 2 Google software engineers. The name XCamp was inspired by the variable X, which represents unlimited opportunities. XCamp's curriculum system and training methodology is inherited from Mr. Xianyou Xu, a Chinese diamond-level international gold medal coach. Our staff here in the US is mostly composed of senior software engineers from tech companies in Silicon Valley and prestigious computer science students from top universities. In addition, we have strong support from international and domestic competition winners in our coach team. From beginner-level Python to classic C++ courses and competition honors courses, XCamp's curriculum is designed for students of all different levels. By participating in team-based competitions and facilitating frequent group study sessions, XCamp also fosters an environment of collaboration to build each student's confidence in their ability to code. As of mid-2023, more than 200 XCamp students have reached USACO Silver Division and above, including 30 in the Platinum Division and 12 were selected in the US camp, out of which 7 were fresh from the 2023 season and 1 is selected for the US national team. In 2022 and 2023, in Stanford's and UC Berkeley's renowned high school programming competition, Falcon and Calico, XCamp students won first and second place in the Advanced Division. In other well-known Bay Area programming competitions, such as the Harker Programming Invitational and Teamscode, XCamp students have won both novice and advanced groups top places and completed the transition from participants to problem writers. Here at XCamp, we believe that children have unlimited potential and can change the world through coding.
Here is the background about Joe. I think. Sorry, this it's not changed the title. Joe admitted both to Stanford and MIT. Congratulations, Joe. He was a researcher at Princeton+CMU and the University of Hawaii. He has 4 papers to be published in IEEE and the JMIR AI. Also, Joe, he was a 2022 USA Computing Olympiad finalist and the 2023 USA Physics Olympiad gold medalist. Also, Joe, he is co-valedictorian at 2024 Harker graduate ceremony, which means Joe's GPA is the top 1 and top 2. They have a tie. Okay, I think that's a big achievement. His GPA is top 1 in Harker. So also Joe is the Teamscode co-president and Harker Programming Invitational president too. I think some of you know me. Yeah, I'm the XCamp co-founder and the CEO. Also, I work in Google for more than 11 years. I initiated the computational agriculture in Google. I got my PhD in UCLA. Okay, here's our background. Let's start today's fire chat. Hi, Joe. Are you there?
Yeah. Hey, Charlie. Thanks for the introduction.
Okay, great. Let me start sharing. Yeah, I know you very well from the sixth grade. How about this? Please share with the group your coding experience. When did you start coding? How was your coding experience?
Yeah, so I started XCamp in 6th grade. I started coding in 6th grade, actually. And so XCamp was really the first class that I started taking. And this was back when XCamp was at Charlie's house. There were around, 10 to 12 people being taught by Charlie and teacher Xu Yuan in Charlie's house. And so I first started with Logo Interpreter for 1 year in 6th grade. And then after that, I began C++ in 7th grade. Pretty much every year after that, I would advance 1 USACO division. So in 7th grade, I passed bronze. 8th grade, I passed silver. 9th grade, I passed gold. And then 10th grade, I would make the US camp, the USACO camp. And then 10th grade was when I kind of stopped doing as much competitive programming in USACO. And that's when I started doing more work in research and physics and like these nonprofits like Teamscode that Charlie mentioned before.
Okay, great. It seems very smooth. You progress each USACO level every year. From bronze to silver, then to gold, then to platinum, then to US camp. Did you have any difficulties, challenges during this process?
Yeah, I had a lot of difficulties actually. As if you guys don't know how USACO works, there's basically four contests where you have a chance to promote to the next level. And so for me, I actually did very poorly on the first 3 contests for silver, for gold, for platinum as well. And so that was I would say pretty demotivating, especially because I spent pretty much the whole year like just trying to solve problems and to improve my competitive programming skills. And that was very much a big challenge for me, but in the very end, in the last contest of the year, I would eventually pass. And so yeah, on paper it does look smooth, but in reality, like the 3 times that I failed before I actually passed, that was pretty challenging for me, I would say.
Yeah, I can see. I still recall, especially for the group, the past good year for the first 3 times, barely only a couple students passed. Most of the students in the group feel pretty frustrated. Also, we find the Airbnb in Palo Alto. We spend a whole week together and to prepare that contest. It's still fun. I can recall that. Definitely, overcome these kind of difficulties and achieve this level is a big achievement. Also, I want to say all the students here, no easy journey make you a big improvement. Only the ones which you felt challenged, you felt out of your comfortable zone, that experience you might have to improve yourself. Okay, thanks. That's great. After you reach the USACO finalist, later you decide to pursue research. How did you make this decision?
Yeah, so I actually the motivation behind this decision was pretty simple. I pretty much only had Olympiad experience before 10th grade, and so a lot of my like solving these theoretical problems, those are the types of problems that I was solving. And so I really wanted to see how I could apply like what I learned from Olympiads, the problem skills that I learned from Olympiads in a real world situation. And so research is naturally it's a very natural shift from Olympiads to research, because now you can use all those problem solving skills that you gain from Olympiads in real world problems, like these research problems that you're trying to solve.
Yeah, definitely to find application situations is one way, after you learn so much coding. So how did you find these research opportunities?
Yeah, so for most of these research opportunities, it was just cold emailing dozens of professors, and most of the time they don't respond. But just if you're confident in your coding background and you're confident that you can do that you will be able to contribute to their lab, then someone will eventually respond. As for my research experience, I had zero research experience before this. So my research was one of them was in AI. The first research experience, the first research internship that I got was in AI. And I had no experience in that beforehand. But since I still had coding experience in Olympiads, so I think that's what helped me. But cold emailing is definitely how you get your first research. And then after that, once you have that research experience, it's a lot easier to, build connections and get more in the future.
I see. Yeah, definitely coding experience is a good, strong skills for you to work on the research and got these research opportunities. You have 4 papers, to be published in IEEE and the AI journals. What did you do? What's your paper about?
Yeah, so all of these papers came out of my second and third research internships, not my first. The first one was primarily a learning experience for me, but the second one was with the University of Hawaii. So this one was about using AI to recognize emotions when somebody is wearing, for example, a watch, a Fitbit that can detect these time series signals of a person. So for example, a Fitbit can measure things like heart rate, like ECG, like blood pressure, temperature. And based on these signals, you're able to predict someone's emotion. And so my project was predicting these emotions based on these signals using artificial intelligence. And then after that one, so that was kind of in the intersection of artificial intelligence and healthcare. After that, I would apply to a summer program at Princeton, and the research that I did there was in the field of power electronics. So it was the intersection of AI and power electronics to basically model the behavior of magnetic materials, magnetic cores under different operating conditions.
Wow, that's pretty good too. Yes, I think among these papers, definitely it's evidence, what you did is kind of a recognition. And beside this research, I also heard you got a physics, Olympiad gold medalist. How did you make that too?
Yeah, so I started physics in 7th grade, but I would say that my primary focus was not physics. It was definitely coding up until I made camp. And so I would say that every year I improved. I definitely improved every year for physics, but it was not that much improvement. So really up until 10th grade, I was not like super good at physics. And so the year in 11th grade, I would spend that entire year just trying to study physics and do problems, and so I would make gold. And it seems like 1 year is less, but in reality, I spent, since 7th grade, I began. And once you understand how to train for Olympiads, which I got through coding, once you really understand how you can systematically improve your skill in Olympiads, then it becomes easier to actually transition to different Olympiads. And you use those same practice strategies, those same problem-solving skills to advance in physics.
I can see. Also, I heard, when you kind of went to a top of a big mountain, you see all the mountains around you. It will be easier to climb other mountains. I
Yeah,
think it can be applied here. Also, I heard you got Amy, the math qualified 5 times, right? Did you work on this every year too? The math.
so math, like Amy is not, I would say like I did a fair amount of math in middle school, but after middle school, I pretty much quit math and just to focus on coding, primarily coding, and then later on physics.
Okay, I see, I see. Also, I know, after you learn this kind of coding skills, you kind of start one like NGO called Paragon X. Yeah, I know this well. I did some support to you too. How did you have this idea to start an NGO to help other kids?
Yeah, so Paragon X is a nonprofit that basically teaches these Olympiad classes to many different students. So for example, CS, physics, biology. And the idea is that, having done Olympiads for so long, you gain a lot of experience. You're able to meet a lot of very highly qualified instructors. And, USACO Platinum, people who have qualified for camp, you make a lot of these connections. And once you make these connections, I thought it would be a very good idea to use all of these, super smart people and essentially pass their knowledge on to other people who are trying to also advance in USACO. And so it was just the realization that I had access to all of these resources, to all of these people who were really passionate about a subject. And once you know these people, once you have these resources, it's a very good thing to try to pass it on to other people.
Mm. I see. Yeah, definitely. You at your level, you have friends, have these resources. Also, you need to work on this kind of logistics, right? Find the teachers, train the teachers, arrange the class, have the advertisement, have the students, find the location in library to teach the
Yeah.
class, right? I
Yeah.
think you manage all these too, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Definitely, this is different from coding, different from a kind of technology, this kind of management, this kind of good, very great leadership. Yeah. Also, I heard you be the president of a Harker program invitational, also Teamscode. Maybe share with us what's kind of your experience there.
Yeah, so both Harker Programming Club is the programming club at my school, and they organize a competitive programming competition, and then Teamscode is just another competitive programming competition, but it's open to people around the whole world. And so I guess it's pretty simple as well. For me, I've been involved in competitive programming for such a long time that I kind of I kind of I've been around in the community for a long time and I kind of understand how it works. And I really would like to uh give back by organizing these fun contests for the community. In my personal experience, I really enjoy solving problems with my friends in a team at these local contests, whether it's HPI or Teamscode. I was a participant in both of these contests at some point in my journey. And so that's a very fulfilling experience. And once I gained more experience, I thought it'd be really cool if I could organize this for the rest of the people who are trying to improve in competitive programming as well.
Mhm. Yes, definitely. I can see you doing work on different organizations, organize different contests, events. You had a strong support from kind of, you said your friends, you have all these resources. Um, I can recall, when you study in X camp, right? You guys, you have a small group, you help each other, you discussions, you improve the skills. This kind of a leadership communication is very important, even from the very young age.
Yeah, I would say there's a very strong community, especially for Olympiads and especially in the computing Olympiad. So I think that's a very big plus for anyone who does competitive programming.
Yes, yeah. Okay, great. Another topic I just mentioned, you got the top GPA in Harker. I think that's amazing too. So, how many classes did you take in Harker? How many APs and post APs?
Yeah, so AP classes at Harker, I would say around 10 to 12 at Harker, and then I self-studied some, but those I did not take at Harker, so it didn't count towards my GPA. But I guess some notable classes I'm taking right now. I'm taking signals and system. I took signals and systems last semester and differential equations 2 this semester. That's like the advanced classes for math. And then for computer science, I took classes like neural networks, compilers and interpreters. And then I also took some post-AP French, so like French literature and film and French prose. And so those were the primary like post-AP classes that I would take at Harker.
Okay, I think one big question, and also maybe from most of the audience, is you have so many activities, and also you get your GPAs, I think mostly A and A plus. How did you do that? How did you do the time management?
Yeah, I think one big thing is I was not actually let's start with Olympiads and research, right? Because I would say those are the big things that I focused on. I really only focused on one thing during a big period of my life. So 6th grade through 10th grade, I barely spent time on physics. I did not do any research from 6th grade through 10th grade. It was just focus on competitive programming and try to improve as much as possible in that one specific thing. And the rest, like physics, yeah, I did a little bit here and there. Research, I reached out to professors, I did a little bit, but it's like my main goal was competitive programming. And so when you really think about it, that's the one thing that I'm working towards, and that kind of limits down the activities because that's my number one priority. If I don't do that, then I don't do anything else. After that, I would say in my junior year, it was primarily physics. Research, I also spent a decent amount of time on, but it was also physics was my number one priority. And so I think just having this priority system, like if you have so many things, you need to make sure there's like a priority list. Like some things, if you don't have time for it, then just spend less time on it. Focus on the thing that's most important to you.
I see. I can see also, I think the students' parents, we can learn folks' priority setting is so important. Yeah, Joe just do one thing from 6th grade to 10th grade. Another example, I know a student, he had 12 extra activities. He didn't do well. I think that's another extreme example, not as the more the better, sometimes the less the better. Yes.
Yeah, I want to add one thing. So in 8th grade, in middle school, I really liked math, right? In middle school, you kind of had more time, so I was doing math and CS. But really, once you get into high school, I did have to make a pretty big decision as to do I focus on math, physics, or CS? Because just realistically, I don't think you can do well in all 3 Olympiads or even in 2 Olympiads unless you're like some kind of genius. But if you're doing like all 3 or 2 at the same time, it's very difficult to do well in both of them. Just spend your time, choose one that you're really passionate about and focus your time on that. And then that's very good for time management.
Okay, I see. Yeah, you just mentioned passion. I can see, for you, you were very passionate about the coding, then physics. Did you see any like pressure or kind of a not good state, or because you have this kind of passion, you are happy to learn? Or did your parents give you some pressure, or mostly you're kind of mostly self-motivated and be interested in these subjects?
Yeah, I would not say my parents gave me much pressure. For coding, it's just like, my parents make sure that I have good time management, right? It's not like they force me to do coding. Like if I wanted to quit coding, I could quit coding. And I don't think my parents would object to that if I really didn't like it. But for me, I really liked coding. I think I had that self-motivation. And so even when I failed, all these contests, yeah, I would be sad, and sometimes it'd be tough to solve a bunch of problems to improve, but fundamentally, I still enjoyed it, and I think that's really important for you to progress.
Okay, great. Yeah, definitely. I know your parents very well. I know how they kind of understand you, support you. This is a big lesson I learned too. I can see most students, they perform well because they have the support, they have the respect from parents. You know, last time I also mentioned that, Albert Huang, he's in Caltech now. His parents like support him very much too. He quit coding after the USACO gold level. He also did great research in Caltech. Here's, I think, another lesson at all the parents and students know. Please respect the students' interest. Make them self-motivated, not have impact to put your interest into your child's plate. Okay, great. I think we have discussed a lot of academics you achieved. Any other extracurricular activities you take in high school?
Yeah, I played a lot. I played a decent amount of violin. I was in the Harker orchestra, and then I really liked karate, so I did karate for throughout my high school career.
Oh, that's great. Yeah, karate, give you some exercise, right? It's fun. To also play, give you energies. Also,
Yeah,
yeah, orchestra give you kind of a peaceful time, right?
yeah, exactly.
Okay, great. I think that's also important too. I recommend every student have one physical activities, so make your body strong. Also make your mind relax after like a tremendous academic work. Also, some art will help you to enter like a peaceful mindset. It will be more efficient and more if kind of a better way to learn. Okay, I think Joe, we learned this very well from you. You are really a good model for us.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, great. Let's move to the next topic about college application. Alexei, write essay is important, but I think all this preparation is more important. We already discussed. Yeah, after these activities, for your college application, do you have any experience, idea, or recommendations to share?
Yeah, so I would say, in my opinion, your grades are the most important. Number two is extracurriculars. And if your extracurriculars don't stand out, then that's when your essays can really give you a boost. But I would say, you know, focus on your grades number one, focus on extracurriculars two, and then essays third. I mean, I think this is subjective, but like other people might tell you something else, but at least in my opinion, that was kind of my mindset going into the college application process, and I think it worked out decently well for me. Um, as for essays, like for me, I I would not say I'm like a good writer. I would not say that I had like I think I struggled with essays a decent amount, but I still in the end I liked my essays. And so I just think that like a lot of people go into it thinking like I'm not good at essays, what am I gonna do? And I don't think it like I really like my essays in the end. So it's just you spend so many months, you're gonna come up with a good idea eventually, or you're going to be able to improve your draft so many times. So I don't think like even if you think you're bad at writing, just believe in yourself and you're going to get good essays in the end. But on that point, essays are still very important. Like if you have bad essays, that can definitely kill your application, even if you have like good extracurriculars or good grades.
Okay, I see. So how many colleges did you apply?
So, uh, so originally I had 20, but then after the early round, when I got into MIT, I scaled that back by a lot. So in the early round, I would say about eight or nine. And then in the regular round, I just applied to four colleges. Yeah.
I see. I see. Definitely the early, acceptance to MIT. It's very exciting. Would you
Yeah.
please share the moment when you received the offer?
Oh yeah, for sure. So when I opened the offer, like of course my parents were there and I was very, very happy to see the letter. I mean, the day of we got it, we went out and ate dinner to celebrate, and it was definitely a very exciting moment. But I am going to Stanford. Like that's what I committed to in the end. And it was definitely a tough decision to choose between those two schools.
Yeah, definitely. Later, I heard you got accepted to Stanford. Would you please share how did you make decision? What kind of criteria you think through it?
Yeah, it's definitely a very difficult decision. I mean, let's start with MIT. I mean, MIT just has so many pros. Like, first of all, everyone you're surrounded by, they're going to be really amazing people. They're going to be genuine. They're going to be very hardworking, very intelligent. And so just being in a like-minded, just being in a community like that, your technical skill will grow so much at MIT. Their research, number one in the country. Like really in any engineering subject, they're number one in the country. And so it's very difficult for a school to beat MIT. And for Stanford, their rankings are also like academically in CS and engineering fields. I would say it's all number one. So academics, the quality of academics was not really a consideration for me just because I would say they're around equal. I think the deciding factor was the Stanford startup culture. For me, I want to go into startups, and just with Stanford being in the Silicon Valley and being in the Bay Area, I think that startup culture will be very beneficial for me. With that being said, however, MIT also does have has a very strong startup culture as well. And it's located in Boston, which is a huge city with lots of students. So, but in the end, startup culture was the deciding factor. And a minor point was Stanford coursework is less rigorous than MIT's. I do believe, uh, like on average, I do believe Stanford students spend a little bit less time than MIT's on coursework, just because MIT is a very, very technical, rigorous school, which is a very good thing. Just for me personally, I wanted a little bit of like more free time to maybe focus on research or focus on building startups, learning new skills or personal projects. But it was definitely a very difficult decision.
Okay, great. Yeah, glad to know you chose Stanford. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Also from here, I learned you have this kind of thinking for the future. Do you want to be a professor in academic, or you might go to industry to be an entrepreneur?
I think I will go into industry to become an entrepreneur. But yeah, I think that's probably the path I'll take.
Okay, great. That's glad to know. I was an angel investor. Also, I have a lot of connections with these VCs. I will, continue to support you to connect you with them.
Oh yeah, thank you. Thank you so much.
Yeah. I think we have an event coming next week.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Okay, great. Wow, time runs pretty fast. It's already 30 minutes. I also see a lot of questions there already in the chat. Maybe a couple more questions here. So I can see you, from 6th grade to now, did a lot of things just in 7 years. Also, I kind of surprised, how potential you have. Also, I'm thinking everyone can have this kind of potential. So my question to you is, did you imagine or did you have this kind of a thinking? You did a lot of things, you have your potential, or did you reach your potential, or you think you might even do more things?
So yeah, so I think I did not like I did not have any of this planned out. It was definitely just, focus, like just live in the moment. Like in 8th grade, just focus on like I really liked coding, so I just focused on doing this USACO competition, and then later on I just focused on physics. Like I didn't like, of course, if you look at my entire 7 years, then it does seem like a lot, but when I was like actually living through this and actually like practicing for these contests or for like doing research, it just felt like I was focusing on one thing that I really enjoyed, and it did not feel like a big burden on me that I had to do all of these things. With potential, I would say I I I don't think there's a point where I was like, oh, I reached my potential. I can just, chill and not do anything. It was just very much like there's always, and this is true for everyone. There's always a place where you can improve. And for me, that was like, I want to explore physics after I spent this much time on CS. And that's why I got into physics Olympiads. I can improve, like I wanted to improve in physics. And same for research, same with, these nonprofits. You develop your leadership skills, your community service. And so I think there's like always room for improvement.
Okay, great. Yeah. I think you mentioned kind of be present. I want to emphasize this. That's kind of all the students and the parents we can learn from. Be present is so important. Focus on current. Don't worry about other things, and keep learning, keep open-minded. Also, sometimes only after you try it, you might be like it, you might be good at it. That's also, in XCamp, we have a trial class is coming. It's May 18th, the Sunday, the coming Sunday. We have a 2-hour trial class. If your child might be like have a try, please, ask our consultant. I will share her contact later too. Also, we have a summer camp if you want your kids want to improve, focus like 2 weeks just focus on coding. It would be a very good time to be on site in San Jose. Okay, great. I see a lot of questions coming. How about this? Let's just pause here. I may have more questions. Also, I want to invite Anna. She has helped prepare this fire chat, put a lot of time and efforts here. Also, she will coordinate this QA session. Yeah.
Okay, hi.
Hi, Anna.
Yeah, let's share our slides. That's okay?
Yes, let me share my slides. Yes. 1 second.
Oh, don't forget.
Yeah, I quickly mentioned the classes we have. Here's another summary. So we have online summer and fall weekend class. It started from June to early September is the summer session. From September to the end of the year is our fall session. It's a weekend class. We have 2-hour class every week. Then we have our on-site summer camp. I just mentioned it's from July 22nd to the August 2nd. Also, the trial class I just mentioned is 2-hour Python trial class. Please contact our consultant in the next page. So also, if you today to register the class, we have a special $50 discount. Yeah, let's have our QA session.
Okay, thank you, Jill, and thank you, Charlie. Welcome to our question and answer session. Please send your question in chat box or privately to me. That's okay. So let's begin. I see a lot of questions. The first, what summer camp did you attend? I think Jill.
Yeah. So in 9th grade, after 9th grade, which was right after COVID, I just attended X camps, coding summer camp to just improve my coding skills. After 10th grade, it was USACO camp. And then after USACO camp, I attended a X camp coding camp as well. After 11th grade, I applied for a Princeton. It's called Princeton Laboratory Learning Program, and it's basically a free research internship summer program. And that's all the summers that I had for high school.
Okay, I think another question is connected to this question. Do you think summer camp is necessary for high school student? I think Joe and Charlie, you both can answer this question. At first, Joe, thank you.
As for necessary, it's not necessary. It's just you have almost 3 months where you have like you can do whatever you want with your time. And so if you're not like, let's say you didn't get into a summer camp or you don't want to go to a summer camp, like as long as you spend that time wisely, that's very good. And then of course, if you want to enjoy your summer, that's very good as well. But it's just like make sure you do something with your summer. Don't just waste the whole summer. Like if you want to have fun, then focus, like go on vacation. If you want to improve your coding skills, like do an X camp, like really train and practice. If you want to do research, like you can apply to a research summer camp or work with a professor. But yeah.
How about Charlie?
Yeah, I know. Just echo Joe just said. Summer is a very good time, for you to focus on a couple of topics in 1 to 3 months. Right, like X camp, summer camp, you just spend 2 weeks, a whole 10 days, with the teachers, with the classmates. I also still recall, one student, he in the summer camp, he's so into that. Even after, we classes take over on 5 p.m., we go back to home and code to 1 p.m. or 1 a.m. in the early morning. So in this kind of situation, you are into it. Also, as Joe just said, focus is so important. Another word is called mind flow. Even sometimes, you are in this mind flow is the most productive situation. You can see, I think Joe kind of hints when he doing things, he's very, very focused. This kind of one key point for us to learn, for our kids to learn, kind of focus. Also, like the summer camp as research, you have 2 to 3 months to focus in one area. You can have the chance to publish papers. Like Joe, he spent the whole summer there. He got 3 papers published. That's amazing. I think because also Joe have a strong background and also I have very great instructors to lead him. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. Another question. Joe mentioned that he started coding on 6th grade. Why is the timing? Also, when did he join Harker?
I joined Harker in 6th grade, and I just joined because, Charlie and Xuan had this, it seemed like a very cool thing to do, like coding. Like, I thought it'd be pretty cool to learn, so I just joined in 6th grade. And once I took a couple of classes, I realized I wanted to continue. And from then on, I did a lot of coding.
Okay.
Yeah, also I maybe add some comments here. Definitely at that time, kind of Joe's parents signed up him for this class. His parents know this class first. Also, just Joe said, after several classes, he kind of felt he loved coding. I think this kind of another opportunities. I like to say, as a parent, we can provide. We provide different ways, different directions, different exercise, different activities for our kids to try. But it's their decision to do it, to continue it or not. That's so important. Also, why we think like 5th, 6th grade, 7th grade is the best time to start learning coding. There are a couple of reasons. The first one, our coding, Xcam's coding is pretty hardcore. We need some, knowledge, especially math and logic thinking. So like 5th grade, 6th grade, they kind of prepared pretty well. Another thing is, for the middle school, relatively the students are pretty free. As Joe said, he has more time in the middle school to study coding. So the kids can spend 3 years to go to the USACO like a bronze level or something even to the silver level. This is so important because if the students start from the high school, they might not have the chance to reach the USACO gold or platinum level. Another one is like a third reason, after you have some coding experience in middle school, in the high school, you have more chance to work on research, work on AI, or some students work on robotics. That's the reason we recommend the student to start coding around 5th to 6th grade. But if you didn't start yet, it's never too late. So even in high school, if you start learning coding in high school, you will have more advance in college. Because I know in college, some students, if start from beginning, they need several years to have a background. They need to go to the junior year to maybe have the chance to go to the lab to work with the kind of professors. But if you already learn coding, learn AI in high school, then you can start working in the lab even from the freshman year. Hope this helps. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. Another question, any advice for a second grader who love math and reading about physics?
Yeah, I mean, for a second grader, honestly, like you should just enjoy your childhood. I don't think you need to think about Olympiads or whatever. Like it's just like if you like doing math, maybe like start doing a math class or something, or start reading more. But honestly, in elementary school, you should really just it should really just come out of your own interest. Like if you want to do something, just do something. It's especially, I feel like if you try to push something onto an elementary school person, that might have negative effects later on, and they might not want to do that.
Sure.
I will add one comment here too. I agree with Joe. For the elementary school, let kids play. That's very important for them to have their creativity. Also, especially for the second graders, I think the reading is very important at their age. Try to bring them to the libraries every weekend, so they will love reading. That's will be very important, for the later on career, the courses writing. For some coding and math, I maybe 3rd, 5th grade learn some math to be prepared. As I coding is maybe 5th, 6th grade stuff. There's a concept, kind of a critical period learning. For our kids, there's some critical time to learn different things. We need to follow that. We might not have time to discuss this, but you need to, like the parents need to be aware. Okay, this stage is good time for the kids to learn reading, next maybe math, then coding, then research, etc. Yeah, thank you.
Sure. What's your NGO's name? Did you use a counselor's service for college application?
Okay, so I created Paragon X Academy. That's the one that teaches Olympiad classes. And then I joined an organization called Teamscode, which is what organizes competitive programming contests for the community. As for college counselors, so Harker has a very, very strong, like extremely strong counseling system. And I think that was incredibly beneficial for me. I got one, as in I got an essay editor essentially. So basically like I would write my essays, have like all these drafts, and then if I knew that my writing skills may have been lacking a bit, so they might give me some feedback, like give me some ways as to how I can improve. But yeah.
Okay. How many hours you spend on sports weekly, I think, since ninth grade to 11th grade?
So I spent,
Sports. Yeah.
I would say around 5 to 6 hours on karate. Yeah, 5 to 6 hours per week.
That's great. How and when did you start programming? Okay, I think you have already answered this question. What language do you use the most?
So for Olympiads, it's C++. For AI, it might be Python. But I guess since we're talking about Olympiads, it's C++.
What is your method of improving your coding skills?
Improving my coding skills. So XCamp I took XCamp classes, and so they like really helped me develop. I'd say just do practice problems and try to not look at the solution, and you're going to improve if you just go through that process naturally.
Perhaps Charlie can get some advice about this question.
Yes, definitely at XCamp, we set up 18 courses. Each course is 10 weeks. Each week is like 2 hours instruction and 2 to 4 hours homework. We already set up kind of a platform, a system to help the kids to start learning coding from no experience as Joe in 6th grade to, USACO finalist level or even, International Informatics of Olympiads gold medalist. We have all these class set up. Also, we have this step, scheme to make each class very easy for the students so they can climb step by step. That's very, very important. That's the work, Yuan and I, we spent most of our time in the last 7 years to make the work, to make the class, to make the course easier and suitable to our kids to learn. Yeah, if you are interested, have an open class after this talk. So we will introduce more about our class and we'll have more QA sessions about the learning.
Sure. Another question, Jaden. What will you do after your graduation? Graduation from high school or college? That's okay. You can answer this question.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to Stanford to study electrical engineering and computer science. And then after that, I don't have my life planned out, but I'm hoping to get into startups.
That's great. How did you find the research opportunity? I think there is another question is similar. The question is, how many professors do you contact and how many professors answer you? I think you can answer these two questions together.
Yeah, so for the very first research experience, like the first time I got a professor, I would say I emailed dozens until finally one professor accepted me. So it's not like and this was at CMU, so you definitely do have to email quite a few.
So keep trying.
Yeah.
Is it possible get into a good college without being in a coding competition? I think that's for Charlie.
Yes, definitely. There are a lot of ways to get into a good college. Coding competition is just one way for the students who like coding, who might, take some classes and who keep work on that. I think the passion is very important on this journey, as Joe just shared. Definitely, there's a lot of ways to anyways to go to very good colleges. Yeah, thank you.
Okay, how much was average daily HW load in high school and daily effort on USACO?
So high school Harker is definitely a pretty intensive school. I would say like 3 to 4 hours. I mean, yeah, 3 to 4 hours, I would say. For USACO preparation, during COVID, during the pandemic, that's when I really capitalized on all that free time I had. But once COVID ended, then training became more difficult. I'd say at most 2 hours on weekdays. It was usually 1 to 2, I'd say around 2 hours every weekday, and then during the weekends, maybe sometimes up to 10 hours a day, like 5 to 10 hours, because of course we had mock contests and then you do a lot of up solving after that as well.
This question is Chinese question, but that's okay. I can translate. You are first author in IEEE paper. Could you please share this research? I think that's.
Yes, so I am the first author for one of the papers that I did at Princeton, and this was basically modeling the characteristics of a magnetic core under different operating conditions. And these operating conditions included like temperature, waveform, how the waveform behaved, like frequency, flux density, stuff like that. And it was basically just how can you better model the behavior of a magnetic material?
What's your intended major in Stanford?
Electrical engineering and computer science.
Okay, the next question I think you have answered. How many hours per week? How have you spent on Olympiad? I think you have answered yet?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, what's the course taken on 10th and 11th grade? Did take AP Chemistry and AP Biology? If so, which grade take it? Thanks.
I did not take AP Biology, and I did not take AP Chemistry at school either. I just took honors chemistry, and then I took the AP after that. So like I signed up for the AP, but I didn't take the class at school.
Oh, so you did so many ECS. What's the major in your college application? How did you decide which major to apply for?
Yeah, I think so. Electrical engineering and computer science. I've spent most of my time on CS, so that's what I really like that. So like it's just like whatever you like, it's what you major in, and I think CS really spoke to me in that sense. I think the reason why I'm not just doing pure CS is because I think it's important to do like CS, like what is the application of CS in another field? I think pure CS is a little bit oversaturated nowadays, and I think it's good if you kind of have like two different fields that you have expertise in.
This question, what kind of summer camp did you do in middle school in 6th, 7th, and 7th grade? And 8th grade. Sorry about that.
Yeah, I think I mostly like I kind of just enjoyed my summer. I think I did do XCamp coding. Like I took XCamp classes over the summer, but I think in middle school like you should. Oh, yeah, I mostly enjoyed my summer. I actually took this algebra class so that I could like take a higher math class at middle school. So I took algebra 1 I think during the summer. But like I would say middle school summers, it was very, very relaxed overall.
Yes. How do you think of coding and physics? How can you utilize maybe your previous research to make the world better?
Sorry, could you repeat that?
How do you think of coding and physics? How do you utilize maybe your previous research to make the world better?
Okay, I see. Yeah, I think coding and physics are both very, very powerful fields. Like I guess how you can make the world better. Like there's so many different fields in coding. Like the big example is artificial intelligence, and I think you can kind of understand like how many improvements AI has made in our lives. As for physics, so I actually have not done too much physics research, so I can't speak to a specific field, but like for example, like just an example, like quantum computing, if we can actually create quantum computers, like that's going to be a very big improvement to society.
Okay. What math classes did you take in middle school, and how advanced was your math when you graduate from high school?
Yeah, so in middle school, I graduated middle school. After I graduated middle school, I completed pre-calculus. So in 9th grade, I did AP Calculus BC. And then my last 2 math classes were signals and systems and differential equations 2.
Great. When you start, I think this question is already answered. When you start learning coding, and how many years you spent preparing for computer science and the physics Olympiad? I think I have already answered. Yeah.
Yep.
My son is currently at 5th grade and good at math and like to design some little games on Scratch, Minecraft, and Roblox. I'm not sure if he should focus on math or programming. I think, Charlie, you can answer this question.
Yes. Definitely for this like 4th graders, 5th graders, Scratch is a good way to play, but for some time they might be bored about that. It's a very good time for them to start to learn the more serious text-based coding like Python or even C++. Yeah, have him have a try. We'll have just a trial class in 2 weeks. if he like Joe, may like the coding from there.
How did you get research paper published?
Yeah, I think it's just like once you have like a research internship, it's just like like if you dedicate yourself and follow the research mentor's guidance, and like you really spend time. Like I spent a lot of time on research, and so I think that's why I got a paper. I don't think, yeah, you just have to spend a lot of time thinking about your research, and the paper will come.
Plus with generative AI is growing so fast, and how do most coding job now and and in the next few years, what are the skills necessary in the future of AI era? I think Joe and Charlie can answer this question, both of you. Yeah. Okay, Joe at first. How about AI?
Yeah, I mean, first of all, like I'm not in the industry, so I don't know if I'm qualified to answer this, but I guess that's one of the reasons why I'm not doing pure CS. I'm doing CS in another field, just because I think the CS industry is a bit saturated with pure CS majors. But I think Charlie can answer this better.
Yes,
Yeah.
this is a question I've been asked a lot in the past months, 1 year. I feel definitely the generative AI, especially, have a Copilot. I mean, Google have Google's kind of Copilot-like products. Some, I like the low-level coding, like a front end, some database already can be done just by the AI. So we don't need to code that anymore to give us very pretty good code. But sometimes you need to check your code is good or not. But generally speaking, because the AI in the era, the applications of AI will be used in, I like to say every industry, because I work in AI for agriculture, the most traditional industry in humanity. So there are a lot of work in the agriculture now to apply AI, to apply information systems, to apply robotics in this area. I like to say there will be more and more jobs, more and more opportunities to use AI. For this kind of uses, we still need to have this kind of coding background. We still need to have this coding knowledge. That's kind of called a computing literacy concept, which means this kind of literacy, everyone need to have this concept in order for you to do a better job in this AI era. So I like to say coding still will be the basic skill and the knowledge. Maybe every case need to learn. Even though you are not STEM, you may learn history, you might learn media. If you know how to do some code, how to use AI system for you to do data analysis, for you to collect more data, it will be helpful. Yeah, that's kind of my personal vision. Also, I like to say sometimes, our parents' vision, sometimes they may decide or even limits our child's future. Yeah, thank you.
I think next two questions about college application. We can answer both. Would you mind share whether you have private college application counselor? If yes, how do they help? Another question is, how do your parents support you? Did they help you choose college list or choose Stanford?
Yeah, so as on the college counselor point, I mean, yes, I did have one, and they helped. It's essentially just like a third opinion, right? Like I asked my parents for feedback on my essays, and they tell me how they think of the essays. I asked my, teachers for feedback, and this is just like an extra opinion that you can go to just to see how they perceive your essay. As for the other question was, how do my parents help with college application? So yes, for choosing college list, yeah, they gave me feedback on like what colleges I should apply to. Of course, my school counselors were, I think, very, very good on this, and so my parents mostly just agreed with them. And yeah, I'd ask my parents for feedback on my essays as well.
Great. This question is very interesting. Yeah, to June, as I say, programmer wear glasses. Do you have some advice to protect the eyesight for students? Thanks.
Protecting, I think you should ask your doctor for that problem.
Yeah.
Because I wear like contacts as well. So yeah.
So, okay, my son's own interest. Oh, no, this is not question. How do your parents support you? That have already answered. Would you please share? Do you have an independent? Yes. How did you get into this one? How did you get into the Princeton research programming? Did your counselor help you?
Yeah, so this is just a summer program that I would apply to. So there's like a lot of research summer programs that you can apply to. Yep.
Okay. I think I'm in seventh grade and I'm also focusing on physics and coding, and I'm also at Harker. Great. I'm struggling more at school during English and history. Do you have any suggestion to help my GPA during high school?
I think you should not go to me for advice for that. You should definitely talk to your teacher first about that. For me, I did struggle in English actually. And the first thing I did was talk to my teacher and go to office hours. And that's really how you, first of all, build a relationship with your teacher to show them that you're actually working hard and you're trying to get a better grade, and they respect that. And then they work with you to improve your skills in English or history.
Where can I find the best problems to prepare for USACO? Does Code Forces program help with USACO? I'm in USACO server with 1 for 80 Code Forces rating. How about Charlie? I think that's for you.
Yeah, definitely there's a lot of resources we can use. Code Forces is one. And XCamp, we have as I mentioned, we have our 18 classes to support the students. So also definitely different level, it matters. Also for the USACO correspondence, 800 is a good number. But that's kind of I think it's still not good level yet. Practice is important, knowledge is important. Also, I saw one question asked if Joe had private sessions. I don't think we have many XCamp private sessions. It turns out so the students learn in group, they can help each other very well. Private is not the best choice. We have tried this. Yeah.
Okay. Is XCamp summer camp critical to promote to USACO goal? I think Charlie.
Yes. I just mentioned 2 week, 10 full days, even night time to be focused on one thing is so critical for students. We have a lot of experiences, a lot of examples. The students get a big jump just from this 2 week summer camp. Yeah, that's one key time for the student to learn. If you have the time, please, as also Joe said, so let's to be focused, your time to do one things when it's possible.
Okay. How do you determine a research topic that you are able to get results for within 1 or 2 years? I'm sure you need to write papers and all that. Thanks.
Yes. So for my, I guess I can start with the summer program. So for that, it was really like every single day, 9 to 5, and then maybe like sometimes I would stay late at the lab, but really every single day I would work on that research. And at the end of that, I would first author one paper and then co-author 2 other papers. And during the summer, I only did research. I did not actually, like even throughout my senior year, I was still working closely with them to write up my results. And that paper, like just writing up a paper and submitting it, that's a pretty long process in itself. For my other like Hawaii, again, I'm actually still in the process of it. So my paper was accepted. We're just in the process of proofreading the paper. So it's been, almost 2 years since I first started. So it's definitely a very long process. And I chose that just because, I mean, I'm very open to whatever like opportunities are open to me. So it's just like whatever CS opportunities I could find, I was like very excited to work on that. And also one more question, Charlie and Anna, do you know how much longer the Q&A will last? Because I have to go to another commitment soon.
Oh,
Okay.
okay, yes. It's already 10 minutes more than expected. How about let's stop here. I know there's still several questions left, so I can continue, our open house with the time. So, yes, thank you, Joe. Thank you so much for your time. I know you are pretty busy. You have the time set out. Sorry, we are like 10 minutes extra now. Also, the final sentence is, we can see everyone have a big potential. Joe gave his example. As you know, at XCamp, we try to help each case to reach their potential. Also, Joe, have a great study in Stanford. We are close. So we at XCamp, also I will support you continue your journey at the Stanford. Thank you, Joe.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Really enjoyed talking with you guys. And yeah, to the audience, XCamp is really amazing.
Okay, great. Thank you, Joe. Yeah, student parents, if you want to learn more about XCamp, we have an open house coming now. So me and our colleague Joyce will be here to answer any questions you have about XCamp.
Okay, let's continue some questions about we didn't finish, or let's move to the open house.
Yes. How about let me stop the recording now and restart another recording. Yes. Give me 1 second, Anna.
So okay, continue our question. Oh.
Yes, let's continue our question. This kind of could be a part of the open house. Yes, yes. Yeah, let's continue, Anna. Yeah, I can read the question.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
I think some question for you, but that's okay. I think Charlie will answer them. Did you email CMU professor for research opportunity during his junior or senior year? Yes, he is. Did he ask for research opportunity for a specific project area? I think Charlie, you can answer this question.
Yes, sometimes, as Joe mentioned, he sent several dozen of emails. I know some students send hundreds of emails. They may got a couple replies. For this kind of level, learning is more important sometimes than the area. Any related area, the student might accept. Sometimes it's not that critical for this kind of summer internship. Yeah.
Another question, did you ever get addicted to playing video games or watch YouTube? Yes, during your free time. How did you refrain from spending too much time on video games?
I don't think, Joe, maybe I play a lot of the video games as far as I know. You can see he already did a lot, the coding, the physics, the NGO research. I want to say, if some students, they spend a lot of time on video games, the only solution is not take the video games away. Just you need to substitute other activities in his or her plate. Also, the parents might need to spend some time, not all the time, just some qualified time to be connected with your child. That is very important, connection. Not superficial, just deep connection. You can have like a deep talk with your kid, feel the love, feel the fully support, feel the respect to them. That's kind of another way, to help students to establish their habit. Also, they have the planning, they have their things they really like to do. That's the only way to solve that problem. Yeah.
Okay. How do you find that's okay. Some question I think I need to skip. Sorry about that. Joe, in 9th and 11th grade, what AP classes you took in school? I'm not sure
Yeah, definitely. I don't know this exactly. Joe said he had like a 10 to 12 AP classes, also a couple out of Harker, and a lot of post AP classes. I think everyone know Harker provide a very good post AP classes like the neural networks, and another one is kind of compiler just for the CS post APCS class.
You did so much, and any advice for time management? I think you have
Yeah, the answer. Yeah, the key is be focused. Yes, I think I learned this too from a lot of students, even from myself. You just need to be focused. One time, one thing. Also give you more time. Like you focus 2 hours on one thing is definitely much better than 2 times 1 hours. So also the parents, let's provide opportunity for our kids to be focused on their projects. Like sometimes if you go to like the flow, the mind flow, that's the way I can imagine that's the best way we can achieve. Yeah.
For students outside of USA, do they have the same and equal opportunity to attend the contest? I think the USACO or some others, I'm not sure. For candidates like Joe at a very high level, did they need many private lessons?
Yes, I know for the USACO, any student can attend. I know a lot of students in China, around the world, they took the USACO. But if you are studying in US, in any high school in the US, you have the chance to join the the national camp, the US camp, the finalist, or even their national team too. There's no limit in your citizenship. Also here mentioned the private license. I just answered the private license is not the best way to learn, especially the coding. You need your peers. You need to kind of like a reference. Sometimes you kind of hit blocked. You need not only teachers to help you, but also a group of your friends to help you. Also, you need to make friends. I think that's another way you can see Joe made a lot of friends during his learning process. He had all this research, the friends to help him on his NGO, to help on Teamscode, to help on HPI. Friends is also very important. Also, I think when Joe started his startup, he already have the team members. He already have the co-founders now. Yeah.
Okay. What is Joe's family background? He has a high-tech rich daddy. Oh.
I think this doesn't matter. This really doesn't matter. But you need to have the vision. You need to provide opportunities to your kids. Also, you need to respect. I want to say 10 times. Please, everyone, every parent, respect your kids. They are growing. You respect their choice. As Joe said, if he chose to quit coding, his parents will support him. Also, I know another example I just mentioned, Edward Huang in Caltech now. He quit coding after he reached USACO Gold. His parents fully support that. Then he moved to research and did great research. Let's don't have our mind, don't have our dreams imposed to our child. This will be a disaster for them. Yeah, thank you.
Definitely. This one is AI is the future. What advice for preparing for the future, major skills to learn, courses to take? I think Charlie is the expert.
Sorry, I didn't check which question.
AI is the future. What advice for preparing for the future, major skills to learn, courses to take?
Yeah, definitely we are in the area of AI. It will change very fast. I can only predict for the next 10, maybe at the most 20 years, still from the general AI to the super AI, before super AI reaches, we still need to make programs, need to make robots, need to make AI systems to make it work, to improve our efficiency, to reduce our cost in every area, every industry. I still believe this is the biggest, the largest, the best opportunity for our child if he or she is good at this, if she or she like this. If they don't, please don't force them to do this. This will be a disaster for them. We need to figure out what's our kids' gifts that, what's their real passion it is, and then we help them to build that. Yeah.
Yeah. I think if you can, could you please introduce our XCamp to help the students for AI? Yeah, that's okay.
Okay. Yes. Sure. We already have a AI class. We have an AI 101 in the spring quarter. In the summer quarter, we will have our AI 101 again. Also, we will have our AI 102 continue class. Yeah, if you are interested, I have the our consultant code here. Please add her. She will help to introduce you to our AI class. Yeah.
Hi.
Can you hear me? Anna, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry about that. You take. Could you please toss this question again?
Oh, which one? The AI one? AI class?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, as XCamp, we prepare kids with coding, basic coding algorithm, data structure, and skills. Then now we have our AI class now. Also in the future, we will have other CS classes like for the hackathon, for the front end, back end products, and apps. So also we may try to provide some research opportunities or even some entrepreneurship. As I mentioned, I have connections with VCs. If your kids are interested in this direction, definitely join XCamp community.
Yeah. Could you please introduce XCamp and our achievements?
Yes, here is I think I'm sharing this page now. So we have I think a surprising good results this year. So we have 13 students got accepted to the USACO national camp, national finalist this year. Total there is only 26 of them, which means we have count half of the team. Also, we have 11 students got accepted to MIT. This is also another big achievement. Definitely every year the USACO contest we have great results. As I said, the reason is we have great program. We have set up all these classes and make it easy to learn. Make it every baby step set up for the student who can bite and can move up. I may not share these details, but here's the numbers. We have totally more than 6 students joined platinum group, also 21 finalists. Also, we have last year 1 girl joined European Girls Olympiad of Informatics and got gold medal.
Okay.
Yeah, this is a great story. Her name is Tina.
Yes.
She made 5-step jump just in one year. Yeah, from the 0 to gold, from gold to platinum, from platinum to US camp, also in the US camp to the national team, and win the gold medal. It's a big surprise for all of us. But if we look back, that's the way. We teach, we help students have very, very solid knowledge, then have great practice. Yeah.
Okay. What grade should I start coding? What grade should I start coding? I think you have already answered this question, but
as I mentioned, the best optimal time is the 5th to 6th grade, because the kids are ready with the math and the logic thinking. Also, they have more time in the middle school to prepare for the first 3 years. But the second best time is now. I just mentioned that we are in the AI era. Still coding and AI tools will be the best, best tool or best weapon to use to create AI applications in every industry. So if our kids know AI, know coding, definitely have the advantage. Yeah.
Okay. What is your most impressive piece of code? What is your most impressive piece of code?
Code?
Yep.
I might not understand this question.
Yeah, I'm not.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think some parents give me some Chinese questions. That's
Yeah,
okay.
我们
You
可以
can
讲中文了。Yeah, yeah.
Yeah，大家意思有点切不过来，大家可以就是用中文或者是英文来问问题，都没有关系，大家也可以开麦。这里有一个家长问，他其实是问的就，但是就现在不在，但是我想查理应该可以回答这个问题。他的问题是，就是问为什么他觉得，就是斯坦福和 MIT 为什么要录取就，他觉得最重要的因素是什么？
当然大学录取官的话有他的这个自己的标准啦。当然总的来讲的话是看到，其实我觉得他们是看到的孩子的能力，孩子作为一个 whole person，孩子他的 achievement 啊，他的 potential，而且能够 match 这个学校的这个一些 criteria。我想周的优秀大家都看到了，不仅仅是学术上的优秀，更多的是 leadership 的优秀也体现得很深刻。你看他是一个很自信、很独立。而且就是说很 skillful 的一个 young man，真的，我刚才其实想表达一个观点，就是说从他六年级的时候，在我这里开始学习，真的想象不到，短短的7年的时间可以从一个小朋友了，成为一个真的完全成熟的一个成年人。
这里有一个家长的问题，我们可能刚才漏掉了。Math is more important, or coding is more important for being an AI expert in elementary and middle school. Math is more important, or coding is more important.
其实这是两条腿儿了，就是你想问左腿和右腿哪个更重要一样，我认为这是两条腿了。就是一个 math 的话，主要是它的一些数学的基础，它的一些逻辑思考的能力，的确很重要。那在 coding 的时候，其实也需要一定的数学基础，这就是为什么我们即使你学我们入门的 coding 课，也要考数学一样。那第二个的话，就是说，其实你会看到很多学数学的、做数学的，后来都要转到计算机来因为最后你要把项目做出来，还是需要 coding，需要 code 让计算机来工作特别是现在你要做 AI 的话，那很多也是就还是需要 code 来调用这些 AI 的这个功能，包括组建这个像机器人的事情。对，在 elementary 的话，其实我还是回到那句话，刚才讲的就是说还不需要特别来学习 coding特别是 serious coding 了，你可以学一些 Scratch，让孩子玩一玩，没有任何问题。主要特别早期的话还是阅读，后期的话还是做一些数学。对，middle school 的话就是一个很好的时间来学习 coding 了。
下面是一个中文问题，您觉得努力和智商什么是更重要的？
其实的话，这还是我们的两个方面了。就是说，当然这个地方智商可能很多孩子特别是在 STEM 方面，我只能说，其实只能说有些孩子可能喜欢这个 STEM，擅长 STEM，有些可能不是那么喜欢，不是那么擅长。另外的话，努力的话，的确，你像这个看周的经历，其实努力也是要讲究方法的。真的，我们需要特别的一个 focus。这个我想再说很多遍哈。其实周取得这些成绩的话，只是在不同的阶段 focus 在不同的事情上，而且你在一个阶段取得了一个 achievement 之后，更容易在另外一个领域取得一个新的 achievement。就是说，你专注的一个方面，比你同时做2、3件事情要好很多很多。当然了，其实努力的话，有时候我还是想说，选择比努力更加重要。有些时候你假如选择错了，你再努力也是没有用的。当然，在这个选择过程中，我们家长的为人特别重要。假如你觉得AI 来了，我不需要学计算机了，那你就不让你的孩子去学计算机了。那另外一些家长觉得，哎呀，这个 AI 来的，那我们需要计算机去解决更多的问题，那可能就会选择让孩子去学计算机。很多时候，我觉得，就当我们面前有5条路的时候，假如你只知道选择前面的，只知道3条，那永远不会选择另外2条路的。 很多时候其实也是了，我觉得能够参加这个活动的家长，你们其实已经很 open 了，可以从别的孩子的这个经历中来进行学习，因为我们的孩子只有一次机会了，其实这个试错成本是很高的，那我们是需要从别的孩子的成长中来 learn，当然最关键的是，我们是找到我们孩子真正他擅长什么，他喜欢什么，他的 gift 在哪里，这是我们要做的事情，并不是一味的去模仿别的孩子的轨迹。
是的，有一位家长问夏令营的问题，他说，我看一下啊，他说那个夏令营是什么时候在哪儿举行，然后包不包食宿？我想这个我们的小助手会比较详细的跟大家说这个问题，方不方便把我们夏令营报名的信息以及我们春秋季的那个夏秋季的报名信息都贴在我们的 chat 里头呢？我想我们的家长应该是很需要这个的。
好的，那个我待会儿把夏季加秋季的周末课程和夏令营的课程的 link 都发在群里面，而且群里的绝大多数家长应该都有加过我的联系方式，我刚才也在 chat 里面发了我的联系方式，也可以跟我预约1对1的咨询，先要评估一下孩子目前的编程水平，我们会根据孩子的编程水平来给他安排最合适的班级。我们从零基础的班级一直到冲击国家队 camp 的那个最高级的班级我们都有。然后对，夏季加秋季的班级呢，主要是周末的线上课程，然后 summer camp 是线下的全天的，地点在Cupertino 那一带。所以如果大家感兴趣的话，可以联系我，然后给孩子进行一个评估。
应该是包食宿吗？家长问。
我们只包我们提供午餐，然后住宿的话可能需要家长自己安排。
OK，
对，
下面一个问题，if we cannot continue studying such deep coding，what should we learn next？就是可能家长不能够学到，孩子可能如果说学到一定的程度，可能学不下去了，他应该有哪一些其他的出路呢？可能应该是这个问题。
对，其实的确了，就是说像我们这7年有2000多孩子进行学习，最后可能也就是能够进入国家集训队的孩子20几个当然现在还有很多孩子更小了，就是说真正这个班里的话，可能有200-300孩子过来的话，那有10%的孩子达到这个级别，的确了，每个孩子他的背景不一样，他能够擅长的东西也不一样其实，在我们的课程中，你能到我们的这个20级、30级的孩子已经很好了其实学完302的孩子，就是真的，他们做谷歌的面试不会有任何问题了，就是算法和数据结构的面试，真的以后都不需要刷题了那而且以后的话，其实你也可以看到，孩子可以真的有很强的这个能力去做 research， 有很强的能力，比如去做 robotics， 很强的能力去学习 AI。我觉得这些也是给孩子创造了一些机会，甚至他即使在做 computer science 以外的事情，比如说他喜欢历史，刚才看到他喜欢这个，甚至音乐、美术这些艺术，那他现在也可以用一些 AI 的技术了，他可能更愿意去用，更习惯去用，更有能力去理解和使用，甚至还可以做一些这个数据分析，可以帮助他解决一些更重要的问题。
OK，有一个家长是问，他说这么优秀的孩子，他们会不会觉得压力太大，时间太忙？他们怎么平衡他们的生活和学习，尤其是在 Harker 这么好的学校里？
这的确是一个好问题了，就是说，在哈克的学校的话，因为我2个孩子都在，其实他们的确学习压力很大的，但关键的确是要一个平衡和协调，而且很多事情呢，一定是孩子出于他们自己的内心去做，这个我再强调100遍哈，一定是孩子，假如他出于他自己的内心去做的话，他做的效率高，他做的有成绩，他做的虽然很忙，但这个压力不是那么大。假如这个完全来自于父母，完全来自于外部的话，那很多孩子的确是吃不消的。
有一个家长问了一个就是大学申请的问题，我想虽然就不在，但是查理应该也能回答这个问题。他问就收获了哪些 offer？他作为加州本地男孩，在加州大学的申请结果如何？我想这可能是一位加州的家长。查理，你能回答一下这个问题吗？
我还真没有问咒他，因为我只知道他拿到 MIT 和斯坦福之后，我真没有问咒这个 UC 他的录取是怎么样子的。当然我知道我们另外一个孩子了， 他在我们这儿也是学到了 Platinum，他拿到了 Berkeley 和 UCLA 的这个 CS 专业的录取，他决定去 Berkeley。对。
OK，所以说大家也不用特别的担心，只要自己的实力到了，然后不用太多的考虑说一些其他的一些想法，每一个人都是一个个案，不至于就是说别人不成你就不成，这些都是自己实力到了就不会有太多疑问的问题。好，如果大家还有更多的问题的话，欢迎大家开麦来提问。当然如果说不好意思啊，或者说什么的话，也可以在 chat 里头提问，都没有问题，中文和英文都可以。
好的，看看大家还有什么问题吗？要没有的话，我们可以就先到这里。这个是我们的系列了，其实是我们这个Alumni，就是整个教育论坛的第79期，我们会继续办下去。而且我们这个 Alumni 的这个系列的话，也是刚刚开始吧。就上次有那个 Albert，现在在Albert 在 Caltech，这个孩子最后的话去了 Stanford。当然，我们这边有11个去 MIT 的，当然还有很多其他的孩子，我们会陆续的，我会邀请他们来，给大家来做分享。从每个孩子成长的轨迹中呢，我想我们都可以学到一些东西。当然，最关键的还是就是说能够找到帮助我们的孩子，这些孩子只是做一个参考了。关键我们做父母的还是看怎么我们能够帮我们的孩子找到最适合的他的轨迹，找到他自己，找到他的 passion，找到他的自驱力。
嗯，是的，我刚才有家长问说，关于这个怎么克服孩子的网瘾，其实我们也有进入集训队，最后去了 MIT 的孩子是非常爱打游戏，也非常喜欢看短视频的。那我们到时候也会请他来分享一下，他是如何把自己的生活和自己的学习，然后分开，然后来进行一个平衡，并且呃。怎么样分享一下他是如何来进行自己的这个学习历程的，也欢迎大家持续的关注我们这个系列。那么好，今天就暂时到这里。如果大家有任何的问题的话，我们再停留30秒，然后大家可以去关注我们的官方小助手。能不能把这个页面放到 QA 的这个页面上面？有比较大的，这里有我们小助手的 WeChat 和他的 WhatsApp，大家可以扫码，然后关注他。请问之后可以看 recording 吗？当然没问题，可以的。
对，我们在这个 YouTube 上有直播，你可以到 YouTube 的Live 上直接看到这个视频。
是的，大家有其他的任何问题，都还可以继续和我们的小助手，然后继续的聊天，然后向他咨询，或者是约一个万的一个顾问时间。
好，那安娜，我们就谢谢大家，今天的活动到
非常
这里，
感谢，
期待下次给大家再见。谢谢安娜，谢谢安娜，
再见。
再见，哎，
我们倒数5个数，我们就结束了。5、4、
嗯
3、2、
2、
1，再
1，
见。
好，再见。